this video, we will talk about pull requests. So pull request is a Git feature. So in order to explain that, I will again get into a diagram. And I guess this is an easier way to understand through diagrams. So pull requests. So what happens basically is in bigger teams, there are multiple developers working, and obviously they make the changes in their local repository, and like I mentioned, they push it to the central server, and then other developers will pull those changes and make changes in the files in their respective Git repository. So that is how it works. But then, for instance, if someone wants to, push into the central repository, but then we also want to ensure that no one pushes the changes to the central server, because remember, central server has the production code, and you don't want anyone to just go and check in and push the changes to the central server without actually code being reviewed. So what you can do in such cases is that on the Git server, on the main or the master branch, you can set up policies, and you can set up a policy like, okay, before someone commits the changes or pushes the changes to the central server, um, the code needs to be reviewed by an approver. That approver may be a tech lead or a senior developer or anyone in that matter. You can also set how many number of reviewers need to go through before it's pushed to the central repository. So basically, what happens is before the push is done, there is a code review. Code is reviewed, and unless and until the approver approves it, those changes won't be pushed to the Git server. So that is the whole idea of pull request. So let's see the demo now. So the first thing what I will do is I'll go to the master branch in the branches, right? And I will click in here and I'll go to branch policies. Under branch policies, I will just set require a minimum number of reviewers. So there are many other things, build validation, check for linked work items and all those things. But even if you set any one of these, the pull request will be enabled automatically. And I just want one reviewer to review it, right? And that's it. And yeah, so that's all I would like to do, right? And then I will go back to my previous page. And if you look at the policies now, again, if I go back to all repositories, and if I go to first tab, you can click in here, or you can go to first tab here, right? And again, you can click on repos, you can click on branches, and in here you can just confirm that you have the branch policies enabled, and you can see that it's enabled. Now, if a developer wants to push the changes to the central repository, someone has to review it. So let's see that now. Now what I will do is I will go to my project. So this is my project, and in file A, I have file A version 06 master. So what I will do is I will go to command prompt. First, I will check which branch I am on. So I am on new feature branch. So I will check out master, and I will check again just to verify and confirm. So I'm on branch master now. So now I would create a new branch called new feature 3. So basically, I just created a new branch and checked out into that branch. So if I do a git status, I'm on new feature 3 branch now. Now what I will do is in here, I will just say, so I just made it new feature pull request, that's all. So I add the file and commit it. So now in this one, if I check, you can see that my new feature 3 has the pull request, the latest commit I made, and head is pointing to new feature 3. And this commit number is pointing to origin master, new feature 2 and master and all. So now I would get back to my master branch. Now I will merge this new feature branch into master branch. So new feature 3 branch into master branch. So it's merged now. And now I will try pushing it. And this is where we should get the exception, because we have set a branch policy. And you can see that it has failed to push the latest change to the central repository. And like I said, because we have set up a branch policy. So that's why we see that. So I navigate to this branch. So this is the master branches file A, and it has just the master. But if you go to branches and look at the new feature 3, and in here you can see there is new feature pull request in here. So this is what we wanted to merge into the master branch, right? So what we'll have to do is we have to go to pull request. And sometimes, when you go to file A, you get the pull request option here. I don't see that option. So I have to create it explicitly from here. I click on new pull request. So from new feature 3 into master, and if you go to files here, it does say what is the difference. And then it also says this is the pull request. So I will create this pull request, and it says VNM Shania Cloud 3 created the pull request. Now what I will do is I need someone to approve it, right? So I will log in as another user. So remember how in our first tab, I have configured 3 users, and I have user ID and password set up for this guy too. So what I will do is I will log in as one of the other approvals, one of the other team members. So I will sign out from here. One thing you have to ensure is that let Microsoft, actually sign you out completely. And once the sign out is done, just also ensure that you close the browser and then only log in as another user. Because sometimes I see that if you don't close the browser and try to log in as another user, it doesn't work as expected. It takes you back to the previous user itself. So just ensure that the sign out is complete and then you close the browser. So another user who will actually log in and approve the pull request is called user A. So I will log in as user A now. So user A is logged in, and then user A goes to his or her project, DevOps project, and then goes to repos, goes to the pull request and sees that there is a pull request assigned to him or her. So basically now I can go to the files and see what has been changed, and if the user A is happy, he or she can approve it. Now I'm logged in back as the original user, who is VNM Shenoy. So VNM Shenoy is the one who created the pull request in the first place. So this logged in user can go in and see that his pull request has been approved. Right, so user A has approved, and once it's approved, you can basically merge it, and that's what I'm doing here. So there are quite a few number of options. I click on complete merge, and you can see that it's merging the pull request. So that's pretty much it, how the pull requests work. And basically you can play around and see what was the contents, what are the history of the files being changed or not. So that's all for pull request video.